So, hello, folks. I hope everybody's doing well enough wherever you may be in the world in these crazy times. So, today I'm going to talk about the whole Roe v. Wade fiasco going on in the United States, and I'm going to give my thoughts briefly on what I think about abortion. So, first of all, just to get this out of the way, I feel like this whole fiasco is really just a big distraction from what's going on in the United States with inflation and the economy. And frankly, this is everywhere in the world as well. And just bigger issues like what's going on overseas with the Ukraine-Russian war. But let's dive into this. So for all of yous who don't know what Roe v. Wade was, it was a landmark decision of the U.S. Supreme Court in which the court ruled that the Constitution of the United States protects a pregnant woman's liberty to choose to have an abortion without excessive government restriction. What's really interesting is how they basically are saying it's a constitutional right, but frankly, to my knowledge, there is nowhere in the United States Constitution that talks about abortion, or says that abortion is a constitutional right. It's just not a constitutional issue at all. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with what they're trying to do here by leaving it up to the states on whether they want to ban abortion, restrict it, or basically leave it completely open and legal. Because the United States was founded on the idea of smaller government and, the state level and the local level having more decision-making power versus bigger government and the federal government making, a lot of decisions and having a lot of the power. So there's really nothing wrong with that. And, a lot of these leftists, I'm sorry to say, because that's a lot of the pro-abortion and pro-choice people, are basically acting like one swipe of the pen from these justices is going to do that. But as I said, they're signing this if it goes through in the next couple of months, basically to leave it up to the states. And, you have these people dressing up as Handmaid's Tale characters, going to their houses, and it's like, give me a freaking break. And by the way, that show is absolute garbage. I had to watch it in university for one course I took for an assignment, and let me put it this way, I would never watch that show again unless you're a real feminist or real leftist. It's real garbage, and Margaret Atwood's just a garbage author to begin with anyways. But yeah, that's my thoughts on that. But my thoughts on abortion overall is I do think it is morally and ethnically wrong, and to a large degree it is murder, but I feel like it should only be used in extreme circumstances, like if a woman was raped or if the woman's life is in jeopardy. But otherwise, I don't really think it should be used in other circumstances. And then, people make the whole argument, well, if they ban it, women are just going to, get an abortion under the table and yada, yada, yada. That's the argument you get from the left a lot. But then some interesting arguments I've heard more on the right is some conservative commentators have said that it would actually maybe help slow down the whole hookup culture that's kind of developed with everybody kind of sleeping around with one another, or a lot of people sleeping around with one another, and it being like a hookup culture with all these dating apps and everything. Because, if a woman knew that she could get pregnant and she couldn't get like an abortion if she did, then maybe that would de-incentivize them from sleeping around as much. But then the problem with that is you have the problem with birth control as well. And, that's something that should be wiped out for sure, because if you didn't have birth control, I think it would slow that down a lot as well. But I mean, I'm pretty sure, don't take my word for this, that you could still get pregnant even if you take birth control. But I mean, taking birth control like drastically decreases that chance of getting pregnant. And one other interesting thing is a lot of these people who are saying, oh, my body, my choice or whatever, these are the same people that we're basically saying that, oh, everybody needs to take the vaccine. You shouldn't have a choice on whether you want to take it or not. Like, it's just, you're being a huge fucking hypocrite at that point, and it's just very ironic and very hypocritical on that front as well. But yeah, that's about all I wanted to say on this whole abortion issue. It'll be interesting to see what happens in the next couple of months if this decision gets overturned, and hopefully if it does, it doesn't start any massive protests or a lot of civil unrest. But I mean, as I said before, there's much bigger issues, and people should be focusing on the bigger issues and what really matters at the end of the day, like the economy, your well-being, your ability to pay your bills and put your food on the table. That's what really matters at the end of the day, folks. But peace out.